Hey guys, it's the Redstone Wizard here again, bringing you another video. This time, I decided to try something new. I know there is a lot of videos out on this, but I figured I'll give it a try and see what I could come and see if I can help people out a little more. Well, this little series is going to be called Redstone 101 because teaching you guys how to utilize the different aspects of Redstone and right now the basics of different components. Now, you got four major sources of power for your Redstone. You've got 7 types of buttons. Yes, 7 types. 6 of them are identical. They're all wooden. You have a lever, which is a toggleable control. A redstone torch, which will supply consistent power to your redstone until that gets powered, then it inverts. And then a redstone block, which will supply consistent power. Yeah, this will just supply consistent power. So, yeah, let's just go into something else real fast because all of these are very important, but it's harder to understand what each one does without understanding the basics of the 3 major components that people use in redstone. First off, you have the redstone dust. Now, redstone dust can transmit its power source, its power signal up to 15 blocks away by reducing the strength of each time you have it. As you can see, I've got a bunch of signs here. So I'm going to flip the lever and we'll go all the way down here, and as you can see, 1 and then nothing after it, because you see the particle effects on that one and nothing there. Now that's important to know, the signal strength of a full powered. All of these, when powered, will be able to produce a signal strength of 15 no matter from the starting point. This point right here, this will always be signal strength 15 when using any of those power sources. Now, when you place redstone, it will, if I place one here, this one's a 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So if I power this lever and come all the way over here, as you can see, this one doesn't have anything, and nothing over here either, because this one doesn't have it. This one or this one doesn't have anything. And you can actually, thing is, redstone dust on console doesn't, it can't be waterlogged. Very important, because you'll be able to understand a little more with some specialties. Now we got the repeaters. Now the repeaters have primarily one thing that people use them for, and that is boosting the signal. So now, as you can see, if we come down here, remember this one is at 0, so we have, this is 1 right here, and this right where the repeater is 0. So we'll flip the lever, and as you can see, the power continues. Now if I make the line out 15 long, the power will go all the way up to 15. It increases the signal strength. You can increase delay by just clicking on it, but this is a little more advanced, and I will be discussing it in a later video. But primary purpose for basic redstone is to increase your signal strength. Now, here we got a comparator. Now, of all the basic components, redstone dust, repeater, and comparator, this one right here is probably the most confusing. Because the comparator comes in two modes, either addition or subtraction. Now, what it does is, if you power it, this one is also set at at 0. It takes the signal for the last one, the one that's going into it, and puts the exact same signal strength going out. So this one's a 1, goes into it, outputs a 1. If I would move this back, it would go out 2. So let's talk about the containers real fast. As you can see, I've got 4 different containers. And yes, that's what they are called. And each container has exactly 1 stack of items. Signal strength 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the signal strength 5. Anything that can hold an item. Let's go with the brewing stand because that can hold an item. Let's get the comparator. Let's get some dust. Let's get us some water bottles. And as you can see, we got a signal strength. And it does go. So anything that can be a container will be able to hold and pull the signal strength out. Now, over here, I have a little setup. These are set up to be maximum. This is at position 1, which is going to be 15, 14, 13, all the way to 1. And this one has the exact same thing. This is to show you the comparison mode and the subtraction mode. So, if we are going to compare, but we only want something that has a signal strength of 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, greater than 11 to go through, we're going to just 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. As you can see, nothing is coming out here. But if I go to 11, we got signal strength. And you can work it out however you need to work it out. Putting a comparator into a comparator, it works the same way. Now, subtraction mode pretty much is almost the same thing, except to take the value of the major input minus the value of the secondary input. The secondary input comes from the sides. You can place redstone dust or repeater, whatever, onto these and it will register. In fact, you can even take a redstone block and place it down there. And as you can see, because it's not registering anything, because it won't, because this is 15. Move it back 1 and says only if a signal strength of 15. Oh no, I gotta move it back 1 more. Only a signal strength of 15 will be able to produce power. 15 minus 14 is 1, signal strength of 1. Okay, yeah, that's confusing. But most people either use it to determine the signal strength, which is why I explained that over there, of the different items, or one of the more useful things, which requires a comparator, redstone dust, some type of power source for it. I'm just going to set that there. Put it in subtract mode, and we got a super fast clock. Yeah, that's it. Now, comparators and repeaters, they can be waterlogged. Give me a moment, guys. I'll get something set up to show you what I mean by they can be waterlogged. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I've got all the basic components that we were talking about over here. Now, place a bucket of water here, and a bucket of water here, even here. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. But, as you can see, by waterlog, I mean that it's able to stay in the water and still be quite useful. So all your water builds now have uses. You can actually have a lever inside water. You can have a button inside water. All these are, you saw me, I put the water in. This is no trickery. And I'm on the PS4. So it's kind of hard to do some of the command block trickery because we don't have command blocks. But yeah. So next is going to be a little bit more interesting pieces. I'm just going to go through the basics of all the items. So give me a moment to get set up with the next set. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I got next a little bit of set for just some quick definitions and explaining how things work here. First off, we got the hoppers. Now, hoppers are very unique. They have two properties. First off, if you look here, you see that little nozzle thing? Yeah, they push items. And they only push them towards the direction of that nozzle, and only if the thing can be classified as a container. Chests, droppers, hoppers, dispensers, shulker boxes, furnaces, and they push into there. And their second thing is if they get a item in them, they will pull it. And as you can see, the item is just going around and around and around because I got this set up on a loop. But they pull and then they push, if I remember right. But you use these to, normally people use them to transport items. Next, we have the sticky piston and the regular piston. Now, the thing about these two are they require a power source to be activated. So I'm just going to place this lever, activate. As you can see, they just push blocks. They can only push up to 12 blocks. Now, I close it and I deactivate it. You notice the sticky piston still has its block while the normal piston does not. There's ways to trick the sticky piston to do that, but that's more in an advanced technique. But yeah. sticky pistons pull and push blocks while regular pistons only push them. There's certain blocks that can't be pushed. They're called immovable blocks. And when I actually go more in depth on the pistons, I will let you guys know that information. Next, we have the droppers and dispensers. Now these guys also require power, and these guys can be containers. Now, difference between them is, let me get just a stack of fireworks in the dispenser, in the dropper. I'm going to activate the dispenser. As you can see, the firework goes off. Now in the dropper, it doesn't. It just gets shot out. So to fire things, all you need to do is have a dispenser. To have things just pop out, you need a dropper. That's the basics. There's a lot more to them because each of them has a special designs that people use them with. But like I said, I'm just giving you guys the basics right now. Then we have the tripwire hooks. Now these three are alternate power sources. These ones are trickier to use and they have very specifics because levers you can, levers you can place on the sides of every single block, on the top, on the bottom. Yeah, you gotta have this. But tripwire hooks have to be placed between on a block, on the side of the block. And also, you have to put it requires 2 tripwire hooks to make it work, and some string. And you need at least a 1 block gap between. But when you walk over it, they will activate. And then we have the daylight sensor, or even the moonlight sensor. Daylight sensor tells you, based on the time of day, if you want it to go off when it reaches the full strength, you set it up set whatever you want, 15 blocks high, 15 blocks away with this, and let it run till it gets to 15 strength. Works the exact same way. Let's set it to night when it's in the moonlight sensor mode. Daylight, moonlight. Okay, when it's all bright, it's the daylight sensor. When it's gloomy, it's the moonlight sensor. That's the easiest way to explain it. And then we have the trapdoors. Now, unlike the daylight sensor and the tripwire hooks, this is probably the most useful one early on in the game. Because you step on it, it gives a redstone signal. You step off, it turns off. Wooden pressure plates, you throw something on it, it activates. Gold and iron have the exact same effect. Stone is entity only, which means you have to walk across it. You can't throw something on it to activate it. So, let's see here. Let's do a quick review. Oh yeah, and things that can be waterlogged. We've got the hopper, the pistons. And yes, I know I'm setting them sideways, but that's so that I can show you that they can be waterlogged. tripwire hooks, if I remember right. Let's grab that, and grab that. I know pressure plates can. Yes, those can, and tripwire hooks can, and the string also. So all these can be, yep. So now that's pretty much the basics, the basic items. A dispenser, buttons, lever, pressure plates, redstone repeaters, torch, repeater, comparator, tripwire hook, daylight sensor, dropper, hopper. Yeah, that's pretty much the basics for redstone. And next one will be a little bit more the advanced stuff, and probably a few more extra blocks just because. But you guys, this is the Redstone Wizard. Enjoy building.